Alright guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I know all of your wildest fantasies. That's right, you are desperate for paid vacation days. That's why today we're playing as France, the only country in which people protest when you increase their retirement age, threaten to lower their work benefits, lose a football game, win a football game. It's a Tuesday. God bless French politics, and of course I'm using the Better Politics mod for the authentic French experience. And of course a special thank you to all foreign lobbyists sponsoring this channel, allowing me to inform you that you're not actually getting your fair share of paid vacation days. I'll see you on the public square, but first we have to fix the government. Unfortunately, I have no idea what's going on, as I wasn't present during the previous elections. So it seems that our king, Louis Philippe de Orleans, will have to maintain the status quo until the next election cycle, else he'll lose his head. Fear not you guys, as a French monarch, he's getting hazard pay. Unlike literally everyone else, as hazard pay for peasants hasn't been invented yet. And now we have to talk about the cabinet, as it has been greatly changed since the last time I played. Now it's a lot easier to manage, as you simply get to right-click and fire the current minister, which automatically employs the most suitable candidate. Additionally, every different interest group gives their own different bonus in order to reflect the different policies. Now the most impactful one has to be the foreign ministry. Currently, we have flexible foreign policy. However, once we replace the current foreign minister with his right-wing conservative counterpart, we instantly switch to jingoism. Now the main thing about being a hawk is that we will murder people to take their stuff. However, you have to act surprised every time we do it. I mean, come on guys, just because we solve our problems with violence doesn't mean you should act as if we solve our problems with violence. That would be crazy. Hey, wait a minute, we have something called aristocrato economy, which is preventing us from using steel tools and other really good production methods. This is an economic amendment, which we shall try to remove. That's right, I'm taking this question to the Frenchos tag, where every interest group gets to use their clout in order to vote yay or nay. And of course, we have some maneuvers, which will allow us to do some democratic blackmailing. And maybe we can promise some cabinet positions in order to swing the vote, which doesn't seem possible. Damn it. Well, we can always get lucky events. However, it seems that repealing amendments only takes a vote. Well, this sucks. Speaking of things that suck, we already have a company, the Clothes for Coal Miners Incorporate, which seems like a unique fashion brand, but I much rather have the Alsace-Lorraine steel mill, which will go fantastically with my political agenda of removing aristocrato economy. And of course, we need a power block, the French Association Pact, which will allow lesser countries to associate with France. And the Americans want to make a deal. What a great opportunity for us to get some cheap cotton. I have no idea how they're making it so cheap, but by God, I'm willing to sponsor it. Also, we need to maintain good relations with the only other republic on the planet, as we're currently dealing with the July monarchy, which means that once turmoil in Paris is greater than 33%, King Louis Philippe de Orleans will become Philippe de Orleans and we shall transform into a republic. This will most likely occur during the Spring of the People, but in the meantime, we have credible commitments to conquer Algeria, which means we have to go to war. Honestly, I'm surprised as you are, as I was certainly not planning that, but I simply have no choice. And it seems that we can have a lucky blackmail, because the village interests guy clearly likes to spend his time on private islands with kidnapped children from Eastern Europe, which means our economy is saved, allowing us to use the most efficient tool production methods. God bless corrupt politicians, clearly the backbone of the regime. And now we shall focus our legislative efforts into some repeatable laws. We shall start with liberalizing the economy, which will take 2 million French dollars from the government budget and give them to the rich. As everyone knows, rich people need more money. As for the current war, fear not you guys, we shall heroically defeat these evil savages who cannot possibly fight against us, as beating the weak is a clear sign we're the good guys. Additionally, we shall spill the conflict onto the neighboring countries, as our foreign minister had a diplomatic incident.
What is this garbage in my yard? Was that poop? Did someone leave poop in my yard? How dare they! I'm gonna find the animal that shat this out, and I'm gonna shove it so far up its own ass, it'll never see the light of day again!
We simply have no choice, we have to respond. The safety of the entire nation is at stake here. And now the government might be in debt. However, the rich people have a lot of money, which means the economy is working correctly. And we shall continue expanding the conflict in order to conquer all of Algeria. Honestly, I would ask the foreign minister of his opinion, but that guy kinda scares me. Egypt also got involved, but they don't scare me. I mean, think about it, guys. Why do they need the aliens to help them with the pyramids? Can you guys imagine the Romans needing help to build the Colosseum? That would be ridiculous. White people have tools. On the other hand, not white enough people need to call upon the might of advanced alien civilizations with their mighty spaceships, anti-gravity weapons, super advanced lasers, and knowledge so advanced no human can possibly comprehend it, because they're a bunch of losers. Oh crap, the British are conquering small Italian city-states. Bastards, I was about to do that. And here comes the first election. The Party of Resistance shot up the polls. We also have the Party of Movement, the Legitimist Party, and the Republican Party. Tell me guys, who would you vote for if you were super rich and had the right to vote? And I know some of you are questioning, why didn't I justify our war against a country run by a woman? But realistically, that's impossible, as women can't run, so don't think about it. And the Party of Resistance won. What a landslide. And I guess the Prime Minister can be the market liberal guy, Louis Matthew Mola. The cabinet mostly stays the same. However, I'm going to appoint a market liberal guy as foreign minister. And now we have Dove politics, which means we can no longer use aggressive diplomatic plays, but we get some civilian bonuses. In my opinion, that's kinda cowardly. I shall certainly confront the foreign minister about it.
And if you ever come in here again with a goddamn opinion, I will shove it so far up your ass, you'll never see the light of day again!
Okay, I'm never talking to foreign ministers ever again. And we finally managed to conquer Algeria. That's right, you guys, nothing bad will ever happen here ever again. And it's time for the London Conference. Obviously, we're going to support all of the Dutch claims, as we already signed a comprehensive partnership deal. And of course, with our brand new market liberal government, we can finally start reforms. We shall begin with free trade. Expectedly, this will be quite easy to pass. And we shall also have a market liberal economic plan. Once we fix all of our shortages, we're going to build all of the construction sectors and allow the free market to do its thing. And finally we can establish the Alsace-Lorraine Premium Steel, objectively the best French company, located in the best French province that's entirely French. The London Conference is over and the Netherlands managed to win. Now that's what I call a diplomatic victory. We're also going to update the quadruple alliance with Spain so we can integrate our economies closer together. Yet another diplomatic victory for our king. Things are finally looking up. Oh crap, protesters in Paris managed to overthrow the government and have declared the Second Republic. Well, there goes another French king. Classic France. And now we have all unions allowed, universal suffrage, and a republic. Obviously, we have to fully embrace this democracy thing. And listen guys, I know some of you are scared. Being a complete schizo every 4 years is pretty hard work. However, our temporary president, the former prime minister, Louis Matthew Moller, has a few words of encouragement for us.
We're all in this together. It doesn't mean anything about us, but we're in this together now. We've made a pact. We've made an agreement. And we're going to go into this with both eyes open and heart full of acceptance of what this could possibly be. You're making a commitment to me that you're on this journey with me. Because once we go in, you cannot back out. No matter what happens, no matter what we see in there, no matter what you see me do, we're in this together. And it's a judgment-free zone. Yeah, sure, I want to fuck a chair.
Whew. Well, I feel reassured. And of course, we have our free trade. Exactly what the government was going for. Now in these brand new elections, we have the moderate Republicans, which are the liberals, the Party of Order, which are the conservatives, and La Montagne, the stinky filthy peasants. Tell me guys, who do you choose now that you have the right to vote? The moderate Republicans managed to win, and now we have a brand new president, Luis Eugene Cavaignac. Now of course we have to switch out the conservative cabinet members, and we're also going to have a flexible foreign policy. Wow, this feels so different, having a government elected by the people, and not by some ugly dirty elites. You know what? We should have a capital fleet as a giant middle finger to the merchant class. And after this massive government investment, our market won't suffer any shortages. Oh my god, the Prussians and the Austrians shot up the Poles. Bastards. Obviously, we couldn't get involved, as that's not what the average Frenchman wants from his government. I get it, working 14 hours a day on the factory floor, 7 days a week without any lunch breaks or bathroom breaks, and often as a result you get to see some of your coworkers passed out, covered in their feces. Not to mention the children who accidentally fall down the machines and get their bodies completely mangled in front of everyone. It can be truly disheartening, but at the end of the day, if you go back home with all your fingers still attached, you know it was a good day at the sausage factory. And the last thing you need is to get our country involved into some distant foreign conflict. Oh my god, our bestest of friends Sweden is being attacked by the evil Danish. Obviously we have to help them in order to reclaim the forgotten French territory of Zealand. With our naval reforms done, we're going to enact peasant proprietorship, which literally everyone wants. God bless democracy. And we managed to send some of our elite troops to Sweden, who happen to be illiterate African peasants. Which will be upgraded in the middle of the battlefield. Now they might not be great in number, but their commander personally told me,
I'm gonna murder everyone!
and I always admire a man committed to his work. And we researched joint stocks, which means we can have yet another company. Obviously, I'm going to take the United Alsace-Lorraine Forestry Products, as I personally know the CEO. He's a bit of an oddball.
That tree is going to die. You wronged me. And it's only right that I come to pay back. What is due?
But just look at him now. Not only that he is a successful CEO, but the government is hemorrhaging so much money to support his business. Honestly, if he can do it, you can do it too. And we're victorious. Now listen guys, I know many of you have said stuff like, oh no, they're just civilians. Or, these people aren't Danish, but the Russian and the Prussian foreign representatives. However, we actually managed to find something quite incredible. That's right, it's the Russian and the Prussian credit card number. And we also managed to enact peasant proprietorship, which adds quite a lot of things to the economic affairs. And you know what, I've been thinking, what's the point of having a prime minister if he doesn't do anything? That's why I propose a unified executive, which will take all of the prime minister's responsibilities and give them to the president. There are literally no objections. Now that's the democracy I'm talking about. But the real question is, are we a real democracy if we don't have a massive trade deal with China, which will save our crippled economy? Of course not. Remember guys, China are the good guys who will actually save the world. And the United States is offering a defensive pact. Of course I accept. As democracies, we have to stick together. And we have a unified executive. And we actually have less authority than before. Well, this kinda sucks. Anyway, let me take a look at what policies we have to change next. You know, I need something truly impactful. Something which every Frenchman can appreciate. Oh, I know, we can liberalize the economy. As you're probably aware, the previous massive government subsidy package for the rich was completely spent by the rich, which means the economy is collapsing and the country is going to shit. That's right, it's not just the factory floor. And we're having new elections. Now I know your vote doesn't really change anything, but the investment pool is over 1 million right now. So I know who I'm voting for. The moderate Republicans managed to win, which means 4 more years for President Luis Eugenio Cavaignac. What a guy. And now we shall promote democratic values, as explaining to the average person what democracy is the 10th most important step into having a great democracy. And now we shall have a great trade deal with the Japanese. Or I'll blow 'em to shit. I guess we can make the deal even better. And that's the art of the gunboat deal. And now we have democratic propaganda. The stupid authoritarian bastards will never think of something like that. But just in case, we shall abolish censorship and let anyone say whatever they want. Venezuela and New Granada are ready to join the French Association Pact. As you're all probably aware, we have very good relations with Spain and they will join us soon. So I figure we might as well take all of their former colonies. I mean, what are friends for? Personally, my friends often take my job and bang my girlfriend. And now we're all free to talk about it. Well, come on guys, say something about it. Anyway, there'll be a new tax on transport. That's crazy, am I right guys? But it's all probably just a distraction, as it seems the government wants to ban slavery. Granted, if we vote conservative, we can have super slavery. But for now, we shall debate on banning it. Jesus Christ, 100%. I guess the debate is over. Damn it, Britain got Sardinia Piedmont in their faction. That's exactly what I was going to do. And they also took Honduras. But that's alright guys, as we're going to take all of the other Central American countries, except for Costa Rica. I'm sure they'll come around at some point, as we managed to ban slavery. Hell yeah! Speaking of which, it is time for us to enact secularism. Secularism. It is time for us to vote for hell. That's exactly what the liberals said. Tell me guys, are you willing to let this pass? Preposterous! If you vote conservative, hell will never win! And it seems that the British managed to pass ceremonial president. Hilarious. Also, it seems that they have a for-profit military. Classic Britain. And the Party of Order managed to win. Yet another victory for Jesus. And we have a brand new president, Joseph Ribéry. And of course, with a brand new French stack, the vote for secularism is overwhelmingly nay. God bless democracy. Now the first thing on our conservative agenda shall be colonial exploitation. Our colonies simply aren't growing fast enough because they're not profitable. You probably heard that there's like malaria or whatever, but that's just liberal nonsense. Also, it seems that our Catholic interest group have some form of dynamic ideology going on. I'm not really sure how to influence that, but I'm sure they'll figure themselves out. Costa Rica is ready to join us. Wait a minute, Honduras left the British and are almost ready to join us. Just like my girlfriend left me for my boss, which is a common occurrence that happens to every man. As you're all probably aware, women are biologically established to look for men with more money. Am I right, guys? Hold that thought guys, Spain is finally ready to join us, because they simply love watching as I ravage their former colonies and take all of their riches for myself. We can also start ravishing all of the savages in our colonies, which all the rich elites will appreciate. But now, we need a big policy, which will affect you, the average Frenchman. I believe it's time for us to outlaw all unions. I mean, they keep saying stuff like, oh no, there's too much accidental child meat in the sausage, or oh no, there's too much coworker poop in the sausage. And at the same time, they won't even mention the fact that Honduras is ready to join the French Association Pact because we're awesome. This definitely deserves a ban, although it got me thinking. Kids these days deserve to be banned from the factory floor and banished to the shadow mines, which coincidentally is every mine. It's where they belong, and I most certainly haven't been paid by the pro-more poop in the sausage lobby. That would be preposterous. Wait a minute, we can buy Luxembourg for 2,000 French dollars a week for the duration of 11 months. Honestly, that's a steal. And we also got refined steel. Hell yeah. Speaking of hell, we're going to subjugate Venezuela, and the children can leave the factory floor, as I firmly believe that the future of manufacturing isn't child labor, but selling crappier products. And we should also promote state religion, as we too can play the culture war even though no one actually wins. You know, I really wished that the people from the pro-accidental child meat in the sausage lobby and the people from the pro-coworker poop in the sausage lobby can finally realize that we, the French elite, are in this together. Hopefully one day everyone will reach that conclusion. For now, we should enforce military discipline and also subjugate New Granada, because they deserve it, and we can have yet another company. Obviously, I'm going to take the special champagne one, which will allow us to secretly give them the ability to make sausages, thus increasing the sausage production without heating up the culture war. And with military discipline, we are now the #1 great power. In your face, Britain! God, we're so good at this, we deserve a bonus, directly taken from the taxpayer. Speaking of heating, we're heavily investing in coal mines, because someone has to think of the children and their employment opportunities. Remember guys, children are the future of the nation, and I can clearly see a black lung epidemic coming. Luckily for us, we're going to establish a private health insurance so we can profit from the suffering of your children. That's exactly what the conservatives said. Guys, we have to vote Agrarian Party in order to stop them. The Agrarian Party managed to win, and now we have a brand new president, Elia de Vote. And of course, with our brand new village interests government, we're going to have Dove politics. And for the very first time, we have peace-loving, God-fearing people in charge. And you know what? Private health insurance is certainly better than no insurance at all. Wait a minute, Prussia is declaring a war to take Alsace-Lorraine. Also, they annexed so many German countries. This is completely ridiculous. Explain yourself immediately.
In Buddha, I wear the space gods, okay? They're gonna be perioded, but I'm gonna stop them with my dick, and I'm gonna prevent everything from dying. Someone's getting sacrificed, and then the gods arrive. Both planet-sized tatas, and they are pissed and horny. That's the whole story.
Ignore them, you guys. Evil totalitarian countries often like to present themselves as the reasonable side, like they don't have a choice or something. But realistically, they're the ones starting the war. You have to be a special type of stupid to believe them. And of course we're going to need some military reforms, which will speed up our military research by 60%, as we're going to win this war by innovating. But just in case Argentina is going to join our faction, it's always nice to have a plan B. Alright guys, it's World War I time. We have the British and all of their puppets, together with the Germans, against the French, Austrians and the United States. I'm not sure how many soldiers will the US commit, but so long as they keep the British in Canada, I'll take care of the Germans, dismantle them to bits, massive war reparations, and liberate the Rhineland. Honestly, I also wanted to make them into a disarmed nation, but realistically, all they have to do is switch their foreign minister, and the whole policy changes. And of course, we need a good old-fashioned war propaganda. Oh no, Spain left our faction, bastards. And here I was thinking that they loved watching me, so they can live vicariously through me. North German Federation, more like Fat Prussia. Am I right, guys? Obviously, we have to enact censorship as a temporary measure. Personally, I would hate for evil foreign propaganda to destroy morale on the front line. The safety of our entire country is at stake here. I mean, we can't possibly lose, as the Russians are attacking the Germans from behind. But you can never be too safe. Oh crap, the president is vetoing the censorship law. It's just temporary. You stupid peasant. I guess we need some more support. Yet another veto. Damn it, I physically can't get any more support. Alright then, I guess we'll think of something else. And Hawaii wants to join our faction. Of course I accept. It's not just to spite the British, but having presence in the Pacific is important for our empire. And even though they might be just a bunch of small islands, I certainly won't forget they exist, as this is physically our only presence in this whole strategic region. And it seems that we have workers of the world unite. Classic World War I. All we have to do now is intentionally lose the war, destroy all the cities, and every one of us will be a king in their own village. That's exactly what the village interest guy said. We have to vote conservative in order to stop him. Britain capitulated, which means the West Indies go to the United States and we get Gibraltar. Unfortunately, we can't levy tolls, as Spain doesn't have naval fortifications in the Spanish hour off. And as we're pushing into Germany, they seem to be pushing into Russia. Classic World War I. And the party of order managed to win. So now we have a brand new president, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte, who just organized the coup, and now we are a monarchy. The French Tag is nothing but an advisory body. Additionally, we have censorship and an autocracy. That's right, we are ruled by Emperor Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. Man, a surprise authoritarian coup, which declares most interest groups as extremist. Classic World War I. Although realistically, we should probably have a military junta instead. But still, our great emperor, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte, managed to completely dismantle the German Federation. What an incredible achievement! Well, what are you going to say about that massive failure, Germany?
I embrace it. Failure is just another way on the road to success. It's a stepping stone. I use it to crush my enemies beneath my feet. My failure will surmount theirs. And at the end of the day, my success, the only one that matters, will be me beheading them and drowning in the blood of my enemies.
Classic Germany. Anyway, we now have a strong military government. But now we should probably cement the emperor's rule by some economic liberalization, as I would hate for the people of France to feel a noticeable change in governance. Additionally, we're going to guarantee the independence of all the small German countries, get them in our faction, subjugate them, so the North German Federation can live vicariously through us, the mighty French Empire, except for Bavaria, as they're going to get slapped by Austria. Spain is damaging relations. Bastards. I guess we have to modify the quadruple alliance so we can firmly sever ties. And now, not only that we're going to bathe in money again, but also we shall promote patriotic values, as there can be only one winner in the culture war, and the winner is quite clearly the take money from the budget and give them to the rich lobby, as we're going to enact agricultural investment, and the Russians are attacking Schleswig-Holstein. Not on my watch, as I'm the one true defender of the German peoples. I mean, Germany also joined, but it's not as if I'm going to send any troops to help them. I much rather watch them get stomped by the Russians. In the meantime, we're going to defend Zealand and get some agricultural investment. Jesus Christ, why is that giving so much more money in the investment pool? That's kinda crazy. We're also going to get regulatory bodies, as I promised the emperor. And we just got the legendary French champagne. Honestly, Honestly, at times like these, I really wished that other countries in the world also consumed wine. This goes for every consumer good. I guess food is an exception, but it's simply hard to believe that some of the most addictive substances, like tobacco, are simply not cool enough to be purchased by the average peasant. I guess we can talk about how coal and trains are actively detrimental to your entire economy, but realistically, it's the Industrial Revolution. No one cares about coal or trains. And for my next trick, we're going to get external trade, as I can't physically have interests all over the world, but I would like to make money, and Mexico is requesting 57 apples a week. Sure, this will certainly go down in history as one of the deals of all time. And now we can have regulatory bodies, which will unlock the work time regulations, allowing us to have 5% more employment in all of our buildings. This is practically the opposite of what coal and trains do in your economy, as I permanently have hundreds of thousands of unemployed people. And it seems that the Catholic Church has fully embraced Christianity and capitalism. What's a democracy? Am I right, guys? And we've completed the Suez survey, which means we're going to buy some land from the Egyptians and build the Suez Canal. We're practically aliens to them at this point, so they have no reason to refuse. And there you go, guys. Workers are now given modest regulation on work hours, one-day weekends, and days off on certain traditional holidays, like Christmas or the Emperor's birthday. We should also enact something the Emperor also really wants: a supreme legislature. And Russia has capitulated. What a bunch of metal boats! Finally, we can build the most powerful navy on the planet, dismantle the British Empire, get all the newly independent countries into our faction, and force them to live vicariously through us. Alright, it is time for a supreme legislature. This also gives us a ceremonial emperor. That's right, the country is now run by the Prime Minister, Edward Laterriere, and the Emperor no longer has the right of veto. I have no idea why he wanted this, but seeing that our new Prime Minister is a staunch Democrat, we have to enact universal suffrage. And we've also managed to solve the Schleswig-Holstein question. It belongs to France. Additionally, we can have Pomerania, just like Hamburg and Mecklenburg, everyone's favorite French states. Democracy, baby! You can't stop it, you can only delay it. Tell me, guys, who are you voting for? Jesus Christ, just look at the options menu. And the Rhineland is ready to join, because democracy is based. I mean, just look at the laundry list of countries who are willing to fight and die for the right to vote. And the moderate Republicans managed to win, who are the leftist liberals, by the way. I'm sorry, guys, I know the Americans watching this are having a massive headache at this point, but realistically, if you're watching from an authoritarian country, you should probably look away, as this is a comprehensive list of dangerous ideologies, and I would hate for you to get in trouble. Also, we can't remove the Prime Minister, so I guess I have to enact a republic. And Spain withdrew from the Quadruple Alliance, which means they're planning to slap us with some toes by using the Spanish Auraf. We simply have to conquer it instead. And Mexico wants to join our faction. Now that's a classic fruit diplomacy. And America just invaded Holland. George Bush would be so proud. Anyway, it is time for us to completely dismantle Spain, take full control over the Strait of Gibraltar, tow the bejesus out of all European trade, subjugate all of the new Spanish countries, and they can finally live vicariously through us. Even Bolivia is in on it, because we're just that good. And we're a republic once again, which will allow us to switch the Prime Minister during the next elections. Germany is attacking Oldenburg, now of all time. Luckily for us, Spain is almost dealt with, and we managed to build a massive transport fleet, so getting in position won't be difficult. Oh crap, we're getting terrorist attacks from the anarchists. I guess we have no choice, we have to allow all unions. It's the liberal thing to do. Just like stopping the Germans and their evil aggressive military expansionism, not to be mistaken with our good aggressive military expansionism. Now then, we're going to max out the tolls from the Strait of Gibraltar, the tolls from the Suez Canal, and the tolls from Öresund. And together they combine like Voltron, giving us control over all major European trade routes, which is netting us 150,000 French dollary dues. God bless democracy, liberty, equality, brotherhood. I mean, that's simply an incredible amount of free money. In order to celebrate, we're going to build the Eiffel Tower. I know it's supposed to be a radio tower, and radio hasn't been invented yet, but I'm desperate for yet another day off. I'm sorry guys, my children work in another town, and a one-day weekend is simply not enough time for me to go see them. Normally, we would have an extra day off during the Emperor's birthday, but now, seeing my children and how much they've grown is an activity I can only do during Christmas. At least now they can join a trade union. Hopefully one day we shall achieve a 2-day weekend. But before this, we need progressive taxation. Jesus Christ, this one will be quite difficult, but I'm willing to try. And we managed to defeat the Germans, which means they have to give up a province to Oldenburg. What say you now, Germany?
I had ambitions once. Dreams, hopes, yearnings, as some might call them. I was destined for big things, and then, well, you don't make it to minor leagues, and you just don't, pump out a few kids, and, next thing you know, your figure's gone to shit, and, you, working a 9 to 5 over at the local repair shop, and all those glory days are long gone and in the past, and I'll never relive those ever again. Sometimes I still play. Still play. Me and the neighbors. I don't really like them, but we got this this kickball league. It's almost like I made it to the big leagues. You know, some with thinking that we're good enough that we might be able to go to win this, just win the local kickball tournament.
Well, that's surprisingly mature. I guess people can change. I mean, we don't have to, as there is a conga line of countries ready to join our faction. Afterwards, I have to constantly review their documents to make sure they're ready to be subjugated. And then it becomes a never-ending game of, can I lower their autonomy so I can start siphoning their money? Because we're awesome. Oh no, Mexico is asking me to defend them against the United States. I can't believe my two best friends are fighting. Obviously, I have to go against my principles and attack another democracy. I know most of you disagree, but our imperialist ambitions are at stake here. And once we ferry our entire army in the United States, we're going to stage a huge defeat on the battlefield, murdering all of our soldiers, which will weaken our country enough so we can organize a coup and abolish democracy. That's exactly what the liberals said. Guys, you have to vote conservative in order to stop them. But before this, we have to celebrate, as we finally managed to build the Eiffel Tower. That's right, you guys. We managed to earn yet another day off. God bless democracy. And the war has started. Listen guys, I'll be the first one to say it. The Mexico-US border is absolutely disgusting, and something certainly has to be done about it. But I shall never condone violence against other democracies. And the Conservative Party managed to win, which means we have 4 more years for Prime Minister Edouard Batallier, and we won't be able to pass progressive taxation, so we're going to have proportional taxation instead, as I would hate for us to go bankrupt in the middle of a war. And yes, we are going to have a grand coalition between the conservatives and the liberals, as in times of crisis we can't fight amongst ourselves, we must be united. As French citizens, we're in this together. And we're also starting to expand into Spain, because subjugating their former colonies and ripping them to shreds wasn't enough for me. I simply have to take more. We're also going to take more taxes, but that's alright guys, because we're going to enforce military discipline, exactly as I promised. Now I did also promise to save us from an impending coup, so we're also going to enact moderate parties only. That's right, we're going to ban all radical parties to the left and all radical parties to the right, thus cementing the liberals versus conservative duopoly. A party for the whole proletariat. Alright then, we're going to have wage subsidies, as I truly believe that no man should lack the means to provide for his family. Ladies, get a husband. Am I right guys? And just as all of our troops arrived, the Americans and the Mexicans are ready to sign a white peace. Thank God, democracy is safe. We failed to ban the radical parties. Damn it, it's all thanks to these stupid liberals. Well, the war is over, and it's time for us to call for brand new elections. Listen guys, vote National Union, and you shall have 2-day weekends. The National Union managed to win, obviously, which means we have 4 more years for Prime Minister Edouard Batallier. And of course, it is time for us to enact limited work hours, which will give us 5% more employment in every building. I mean, we have 300,000 unemployed people. Give the people jobs, that's what I always say. Hey, wait a minute, the Agrarian Party is now run by the Agrarian Socialists, who are filthy left-wing extremists. I mean, just look at the laundry list of left-wing extremists. Guys, we have to do something about this socialist mind virus. As you're all probably aware, they're trying to organize in order to rise up and murder us all. Luckily for us, we can subjugate Mexico, who will come to our aid should these criminals try something, and we managed to complete our external trade pillar, allowing us to trade without needing to have an interest. Granted, we are already the largest importer and exporter on the planet, and once we subjugate the Dutch, it won't even be close. And there you go guys, in addition to weekends and holidays, workers may now enjoy 8-hour workdays with overtime pay. Beat this, extremist scum! Remember guys, radical political groups are overrated, just like home ownership, as I truly believe that real estate should be treated as a speculative asset on the stock market. The Paris Commune, motherfuck, the stupid communist bastards took our capital. And just look at these gross disgusting laws. Granted, they got commercialized agriculture before we can, but women in the workforce? Preposterous. Obviously, we're going to embargo them, and once they begin to starve, this will give us the scientific proof we need that work is reserved for men between the ages of 8 and 104. Just as God intended. And there you go guys, the communists are planning a coup to murder us all and give our jobs to women. The Germans are attacking us again, now of all time. And here I was thinking that the Prussians have finally changed their ways. I'm such an idiot. They backed down. Wait, what? Alright Germany, what are you doing?
I collect stamps. I like stamps. They're timeless, you know, timeless, just like my memories. The memories of the past, you know, and how I look back on all of them and I can remember fondly when I had joy in my life. Not that I don't have joy now, why would I not have joy now? It's so funny, it's so funny.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop embargoing them for now. And now I simply have no choice. We have to ban all socialist parties. Oh crap, we have a general strike. Classic France. We now have negative 16% throughput, negative 49% mining throughput, and negative 49% manufacturing throughput. This will cripple our economy. Alright, that's it. We're going to commit sweeping terror, which instantly banned all socialist parties. And we also have limited unions. That was too little too late, as we are now 1 million in the hole. I'm sorry guys, but I have no choice. I must declare bankruptcy. I guess we can continue with the sweeping terror. And now we have illegal unions. You know, that makes me feel a little bit better. I guess we can continue terrorizing. And now we have a militarized police, first in the world, never seen before. Oh crap, half the country revolted. Are you guys telling me that terrorizing protesting people wasn't the answer? Ridiculous. We have to call in the army and murder them all. That'll fix everything. Granted, things aren't looking very well. However, I can call all of my subjects to help. They don't own a single boat. That's not good. Oh crap, we're starting to turn the tide. Just look at the numbers. Okay, maybe don't look at the numbers. It's a bit embarrassing. But we can actually push all the way through Paris. We capitulated. Damn it. Well, you guys know what they say. You can't win them all. Otherwise, there'll be no suspense and the audience will have no reason to watch. But listen guys, even though this was quite embarrassing, I managed to escape to Bolivia with my family. And living at the edges of civilization has its perks, such as the evil French communist government will never be able to find us. Besides, being in charge of the largest and most powerful country on the planet can be quite stressful, and like here in the jungle I can always practice chopping wood, starting fire, intermediate fasting, advanced intermediate fasting, and once a week super intermediate fasting. But listen guys, you can always help by making an extra big dinner so I can live vicariously through you. Until next time.